Hey there, my name is Camille Tintle from Tintle Digital Marketing, and today I'm going to talk to you about the 5 hacks that can double the ROAS for your Facebook advertising campaign. Now, this is specifically geared towards e-commerce businesses because that's what we exclusively specialize in. So let's dive right in. The first hack has to do with the structure or the strategy for your campaign. This is really going to start you off on the right foot. It's the foundation of your campaign. It's going to help eliminate a lot of stress and headaches from the get-go. Now, think about it this way. When you're advertising on Facebook or anywhere, you're typically looking for new customers or people who haven't purchased from you before. You're going to have to take them on a journey from first being introduced to you to actually purchasing. And it might not be, immediate. So expecting people who are just first introduced to your business, expecting them to purchase right away I would say expecting all of those folks to purchase right away is going to lead to a lot of disappointment. Now, that doesn't mean that you won't get anybody immediately purchasing. It just means that you shouldn't expect that immediately. And you want to have some other strategies in place to really optimize that customer journey, especially the first time customer journey. So that can mean a lot of tactics at the top of funnel when you're dealing with new customers, so cold audiences. Think about optimizing for traffic, so sending people to the site, optimizing for video views. So maybe you have a video that you want to show in front of your target audience, and then you can retarget the people who watch that video in the future. You can optimize cold audiences to add to cart on the site. And then you can also optimize for actual purchase conversions on the site. Those are all different options that you can do for new traffic, so new visitors. And you can see here, this is all top of funnel, so TOF. And we have a few of these. So we've got traffic here. We're optimizing for add to cart conversions on the site. And up here, we have the purchase conversion optimization. So we have run all of these. And then after that, we're retargeting those guys in the future. So for a lot of purchase conversions, like in here, in this other ad account, this is a cold audience, and so is this. Let's see. We have lookalike audience. Yep. As you can see, this is a 7 ROAS. This is a 5 ROAS, 2.86. Above a 4 ROAS here, and it goes on and on. So you can see that purchase conversion optimization, that's what these are for cold audiences, can definitely work. But what we also have going on here, let me find one, add to cart optimization. So here's one. I'm gonna have to find a few of them. Here we go. So these ones that are highlighted on the screen, typically we want to see, like if we're dealing with cold audiences and we're trying to get these people to add to cart on the site, we typically want to see the cost per add to cart under about $5, give or take. And here you can see this is a little over 5. This is at about $6, so it's not really in a danger zone yet. This is also under $6. And I would say these are working very well and they're very efficient. And by efficient, I mean that they're doing what we want them to do, which is adding to cart on the site. And again, this is cold. These are cold audiences. Scroll on over. The link click-through rate is actually pretty high. So 1.75, 1.85, and 1.55. The link click-through rate is an important number that we monitor because it basically tells you the percentage of people who've seen your ad and then actually clicked onto the site. We want this above 1% whenever possible. Now, if you scroll over here, you'll see that they also brought in purchases. So 5 purchases here, 13 purchases here, 5 purchases here, and we've got 0.93 ROAS. While we'd ideally like to see this above 1, this is still performing very well because we're bringing in add to carts, or people who are adding to cart, and we're bringing in purchases and just general traffic that we can retarget in the future. So the fact that it's actually bringing in purchases means that it's highly efficient. These are even better. So 1.78 ROAS and 3.05 ROAS. This brought in 5. So, and this one brought in 13. And actually, Nope, never mind. Sorry, that was a purchase conversion optimized ad set. So this is definitely something that a lot of businesses don't think about, is optimizing cold audiences for the add to cart conversion and then retargeting them again, which I'm sure you've implemented as well. Retargeting is so important. That's basically when you are showing your ads in front of people who already know your business. So that could be people who've landed on your site, people who've added to cart on the site, people who've engaged with your Instagram, maybe who've watched your videos in your Facebook ads, or even past customers. A lot of different options here. But the main point here is that you want to start your campaign with a structure in mind and really focusing on taking your customer along a journey from first being introduced to your business to actually purchasing, and not expecting that they're going to purchase immediately. It might take some time. Make sure you have the structure in place that's going to bring you the best results. So taking them on that journey so that it's a slow warm up, because if you forget that warm up, typically we see lower ROAS because it's skipping a step and you're leaving a lot of money on the table. So that is the first hack. Now, the second one, number 2, has to do with a good promotion. When we're talking about first-time customers, if you're not already running a first-time customer promotion, you're missing out on so much. I would say 99% of the businesses that we work for, that we run campaigns for, are running a first-time customer promotion. This is so important. If you're not doing it already, you definitely want to try something. My favorite has to do with a percentage off. So anything more than 15% is going to generate the most amount of interest. I've seen 10% work as well, but I would say that's pretty rare. If you're going to run a first-time customer promotion and it's a percentage off, try 15% or above if your margins can handle it. Now, let's see. Let's go to this ad account over here so you can see this isn't necessarily a first-time customer promotion, but it's still along the lines of a good promotion. So when we're dealing with first-time customers, you want to make it easier, as easy as possible to get them in the door. And then down the line, ideally you have everything in place for them to purchase again and be basically a lifetime customer. And that's where you make more money down the road. A past customer is much, much easier to convert and less expensive to convert. It's always going to cost more money to get a new customer in the door. So keep that in mind. So back to this specific ad account, we are dealing with Black Friday, Cyber Monday, 2019. So just a couple months ago. So you can see November 15 to December 15, 2019. And we are dealing with a 6.56 ROAS, which is pretty incredible for this business because they were hoping to achieve above a 4. And that's because they are running a 20% off promotion site-wide. So I'll just show you what this looks like. Taking a minute to load. Okay, so 20% off. This is just a short little video. You can see we just have a little animation in the background just to capture more attention. And this is for people who've added to their carts, but they haven't actually purchased yet. But we have 20% off in 3 spots so that it's extremely clear. And again, this isn't for first-time customers, but it's a promotion. And they run this one time a year, and they're getting a 6.56 ROAS. So that's really, really incredible. Well, when they're not running, well, actually, I want to show you so you can see that 6.56. But look at all these other numbers: 17, 10, 13, 16, 17, 10, like 21. That's insane. That's so high. Just think about what you're missing out on if you're not occasionally running special promotions like this. And I would say 20% is pretty low. But it works so well. And you can get an extreme return. Now, let's see what else we've got. Here's an example. This is their normal promotion for first-time customers. So it's 15% off, so just a little bit more. And I got that bumped up from a 10% off, which I think I mentioned earlier that 10% off is not super exciting. It can work, but really want it above 15% whenever possible. Okay, let's see what else. Let's see, if you have great customer retention, so a high lifetime value of a customer, and I would say even a high average order value, you definitely want to give first time customer promotion a try, like a good one. And I wanted to point out some other options you can do besides 15% off. So a dollar amount off, that could typically mean like $10 or more off. That's pretty exciting. $5, doesn't make a big difference, but $10 can. A freebie with your order. So it could be a small item, like a small product on your site that you add to every order. That can make a big difference. Free samples, those are hits. I caution you with free samples because while it is, I would say it's one of my favorite first-time customer promotions, it takes time to see return on. But the payout is huge. So basically, if you think about, like, if you're running an e-commerce business that can afford to give away some free products, so we're talking about maybe some best-selling product that's under $30 likely, so it would be something pretty cheap, probably more in the neighborhood of like under $10 if you can make samples that are that small. Now, when they're trying your product, like let's give an example of a beauty product. That's a sample. Now, you're sending these free samples. Either the person can pay for shipping and handling, or you can cover that piece. Usually if you're paying for that, it's going to be easier, it's going to be cheaper to get them in the door. Now, once they try your product, and as long as you are producing an awesome product and have a high customer retention rate, then getting these people who have tried your free samples to actually convert in the future is going to be so easy. Once they've tried and loved your product, getting them to purchase is going to be a no-brainer. So it takes a bit of an investment up front. It's going to take a lot of patience, like a couple weeks to a month, if not longer, to actually get them to convert. So just keep that in mind. Let's see, what else is there? Okay, another promotion I wanted to show has to do over Valentine's Day, like I would say the month before. And this was last year, January 15, 2019 to February 10th, 2019. The promotion, let's see where I can find, actually, I think those ads are deleted now, but you can see 25, 27 ROAS. That's outrageous, but I believe the promotion was about 40%. Let's see if I can find it. Nope, it's not going to show it. Let's see. Okay, if you look in here, I was incorrect about the percentage off. It's not 40% off, actually a lot lower. It's 25 and 20% off. So you can see here, that's 25% off and 20% off. And these other ones in between are also 20% off. So that's outrageous. Look at the ROAS here, 3103. Wow, insane. So try first-time customer promotions, and also during specific holidays. It makes a huge difference. You might be thinking that you're giving away a lot of product. Now, as long as your margins can handle it, it should be fun. So give it a shot. Now, let's look at what's next. Okay, number 3. This one's super important. It has to do what's happening not on Facebook, but what's happening off of Facebook. So obviously, when you're running a Facebook advertising campaign, you're concerned with what's going on, within Ad Manager. And while that's super important, we want to see that we're working on the right placements, getting in front of the right people or audiences, and the ads are just perfect. We've got the right ad copy, we've got the right images and videos as well. And I guess they don't need to be perfect, but they should be really, really close. And that's what we're working on Facebook. But this number down here, this very important number, the ROAS number, it's not just what's going on Facebook. This number is directly impacted by your website conversion rate, your average order value, and the lifetime value of a customer. As long as those numbers are, I would say, continually being improved upon, then that's a good thing. Typically for the the website conversion rate, which I would say is most important, you want it to be above a 1% whenever possible. When it's lower than that, it's going to be a lot harder to convert people, because that website conversion rate basically tells me, when we're sending these 2,000 website visitors to the site, how well will your website convert those folks? Is it going to be pretty high? Or is it going to be low? Is it going to be nearly impossible to get them to purchase on the site? Typically, if it's below 1%, it's going to be rather difficult. Doesn't mean you shouldn't run Facebook ads when you're lower than that amount. It's just going to be typically a lot harder to reach numbers like this. This particular business, I would say their website conversion rate fluctuates between a 2 and a 5%. So that makes a really big difference. So this number right here means that there's a lot going on and working together to achieve these insane results. Let's see what else is there. Okay. Yeah, the most successful ad campaigns that I've worked on and seen always have a perfectly optimized website. That makes it so much easier for us to do our job well. And when struggling on the site, we're going to struggle on the campaign as well. So definitely prioritize that as soon as you can, whether you're running ads right now or you're not. Make sure the website is optimized as much as possible, specifically website conversion rate, lifetime value of a customer, and the average order value. Let's see what else is there. Oh, I wanted to show another campaign. This one also has an excellent conversion rate. It's usually between a 2 and a 3%. And they have the lifetime of the ad account. So we're talking about a lot of money spent. Let's look in here. Over here. Look at that. $220,000 spent. Is that right? Yeah. And 16.32 Roas, so over 3.5 million in revenue. They're doing very well. That's a lot of factors at play, including what's going on the site. Okay, next number 4. The fourth hack has to do with the graphics. By graphics, I mean videos or images. So professional photos of your product, and that could be just with the product itself or the product with models showing the product itself. Very, very important, because you need lots of photos to test to find which ones are going to bring in the most traffic to your website. Beautiful photos make a big difference. Let's see, the images themselves in an ad campaign. Let's see over here. So all of these different images here. And actually, let's scroll over here. This is the one I want to show you. These professional images on the ads, that can affect your ad campaign success by up to 70%. So that's really huge. So don't skimp on that. Don't just test a few. You want to make sure you have a good collection to run, because you might be surprised at what brings in the best results. So for this particular campaign, you can see here, this image, this thumbnail here is so incredibly high performing that we have it in the majority of the ads because it works so well. We've tried these other ones, but it just doesn't compare. You can see we've tested 667 ads. So let me show you what it looks like, this photo. We test the image of just the professional photo itself, but we also test it with text overlay. And that's the same with videos as well. Okay, let me see here. Okay, also cohesive branding. That directly relates to the graphics. Now, when you have a branding guide or branding guidelines, that's going to be really important when you have an agency or maybe somebody in-house running the ads, because you want to make sure everything looks aligned. We're dealing with the colors that work for the business and the font and whatever specifications that you have for your business make sure that that's in line with your images as well. Now, one small caution in that area, if you're dealing with blue colors, you want to avoid something that's as close to Facebook Blue as possible, because that can get totally washed in Facebook newsfeed for potential customers. It can negatively affect your ads. So avoid it if you can. If you can't, then I would suggest not using text overlay, and you can still find good results. So let's see what's next. We have, the last one. This one's so important, and it ties directly into the amount of ads that we are testing in here. Actually, let's scroll over to the next. Oh, you know what? I skipped something in the graphics section. So let's rewind just a little bit. So specifically with graphics, I'm talking about videos and images. And specifically here, we had some great product images that we turned into a slideshow video for this business. And it works so well. As you can see, we have that first time customer promotion in here, and it made a big difference. We listed it twice. So at the beginning and at the end. And these are all professional photos that they have. They have hundreds to work with, and it's made a big difference. And in here, I believe this is just one campaign that we're looking at. 792 ads that we've tested with several different images, several different videos, as you can see here. There's a lot of different options. Okay, so let's go back to number 5, which is A/B testing. And I would say that this is probably the number one way. If you were going to choose any of these hacks, I would say focus on this one, A/B testing, because this is how you're going to find the best results. You have to discover what doesn't work in order to discover what does work. You can't just start a perfectly designed ad campaign and expect it to produce the best results right away. In order to find the best results, you have to test, and test some more. I cannot stress this enough. So let's look at what else there is. Oh yeah, okay, I want to point out what areas. So A/B testing, most people get really overwhelmed by how tedious it becomes and what aspects you have to A/B test, because there's a lot. So I would say the most important ones. You have the ad copy, the headline in the ad copy. You have the product image, maybe with text overlay or without text overlay. Maybe you've got videos, placement, audiences. What else is there? Optimizations. And that's just what's happening on Facebook. And I'm sure I'm missing a few of them because there's so much to test. And, buttons on the ad itself. Let's see, what else is there? Button, no button. It goes on and on. The promotion, the strategy, what's happening on the site. You have to test all of that. And it can honestly get very confusing when you're testing a lot of different things at once. It's definitely a skill to cultivate. So if you're struggling to do it on your own, try reaching out to somebody who runs Facebook ads for a living, because that can make a big difference. They can usually juggle and analyze what's going on in the ad account rather quickly, rather than if this isn't something that you do exclusively or every single day. It can be tough. It can be very, very tough. So let's look inside this ad account here. We have, this is interesting. This business, we are dealing with a business that promised not to discount for basically any time, unless they launched a new product. But any other time they don't discount. And I've cautioned them, I've told them about how much of a great return they could get, especially with first-time customers, if they started implementing a first-time customer promotion. But they're very firm on that stance, and that's okay. They're still very profitable from their campaign. You can see that they've got a 3.06 ROAS. So they're very happy with that. Typically, businesses want to see a 3 ROAS or above for their business. And this is the lifetime of the ad account. So there's been a lot of A/B testing. And you can see, again, 642 different ad sets. That's just ad sets. Let's look at the ads. 200 ads. So that's pretty big. Let's see what else is there. I've got to peek at my notes for a second. Yeah, I think that basically sums it up. Don't want to make this video too long for you, but essentially, those are the 5 biggest advertising hacks that we use to improve the ROAS for our clients. And again, we've got the first one, strategy, or the structure of your ad campaign. Second one is a promotion. It can be first time customer promotion, or it could be a holiday promotion. Third one has to do with what's happening on the site. So the conversion rate, lifetime value of a customer, and the average order value. The fourth one has to do with your graphics. That can be images, could also be videos. The fifth one encompasses everything I just described, and that is the A/B testing required to improve your Facebook advertising campaign ROAS. That's really how you're going to get double-digit ROAS if that's what you want. That's going to make all the difference. I realize that this is a lot of information to absorb and to implement. So if you're struggling at all and you would like to have an expert team look inside your ad account and give you specific insight into why your Facebook advertising campaign isn't working, or how to significantly improve your Facebook ROAS for your campaign, feel free to reach out to us, schedule a strategy call, click the link below. It's 0 risk, completely free, and we're happy to help you significantly increase the success of your Facebook advertising campaign. Hopefully by doubling your ROAS, if not reaching double-digit ROAS, as you saw in some of these ad accounts that I showed you earlier. So again, click the button below, and we look forward to speaking with you soon.